Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jami Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Jami Hari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Here's a Gita. Bhagavad Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So today is a very important day. It's the appearance day of Lord Ramachandra. And Lord Ramachandra is the first, is actually Krishna. It's described by different authorities, different sages, who Lord Ramachandra is and how he is expanded. And they're all different. But actually, at the end of the day, every expansion is coming from Krishna. So whether we explain it this way or that way, it doesn't really make that much difference. So Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam, and Lord Ramachandra is said to be non-different from Lord Krishna. So I thought I'd read a verse from the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. It's a verse which is often read on these appearance days of the Lord. And so I'll just stick to this verse and then we'll expand. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. What is this? Anir Bhavati Bharata Abhyutanam Adharmasya Tadatmanam Srijamyaham. Yada yada, whenever and wherever, he certainly, dharmasya, of religion, glani, discrepancies, bhavati, become manifest, bharata, or descendant of Bharat, abhyutanam, predominance, adharmasya, of irreligion. Tada, at that time, atmanam, self, srijami, manifest, aham, I. Translation: whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious principles or religious practice or descendant of Bharat and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. In response, please. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious principles or descendant of Bharat and a prominent rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. The word Srijami is significant herein. Srijami cannot be used in the sense of creation because, according to the previous verse, there is no creation of the Lord's form or body, since all the forms are eternally existent. Therefore, Srijami means that the Lord manifests himself as he is. Although the Lord appears on schedule, namely at the end of the Dwapara Yuga of the 28th millennium of the 7th Manu in one day of Brahma, he has no obligation to adhere to such rules and regulations. Because he is completely free to act in many ways as at his will. He therefore appears by his own will whenever there is a predominance of irreligion and a disappearance of true religion. Principles of religion are laid down in the Vedas, and any discrepancy in the matter of properly executing the rules of the Vedas makes one irreligious. In the Bhagavatam it is stated that such principles are the laws of the Lord. Only the Lord can manufacture a system of religion. The Vedas are also accepted as originally spoken by the Lord himself to Brahma from within his heart. Therefore, the principles of Dharma or religion are the direct orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dharmam tu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. These principles are clearly indicated throughout the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of the Vedas is to establish such principles under the order of the Supreme Lord, and the Lord directly orders at the end of the Gita that the highest principle of religion is to surrender unto him only and nothing more. The Vedic principles push one towards complete surrender unto him And whenever such principles are disturbed by the demoniac, the Lord appears. From the Bhagavatam, we understand that Lord Buddha is an incarnation of Krishna, who appeared when materialism was rampant and materialists were using the pretext of the authority of the Vedas. Although there are certain restrictive rules and regulations regarding animal sacrifice for particular purposes in the Vedas, people of demoniac tendencies still took the animal sacrifice without reference to the Vedic principles. Lord Buddha appeared in order to stop this nonsense and to establish the Vedic principles of non-violence. Therefore, each and every avatar or incarnation of Lord has a particular mission, and they are all described in the revealed scriptures. No one should be accepted as an avatar unless he is referred to by the scriptures. It is not a fact that the Lord appears only on Indian soil. He can manifest himself anywhere and everywhere and wherever he desires to appear. In each and every incarnation he speaks as much about religion as can be understood in the particular by the particular people under their particular circumstances. For the mission is the same, to lead the people to God consciousness and obedience to the principles of religion. Sometimes he descends personally, and sometimes he sends his bona fide representative in the form of his son or servant, or himself in some disguised form. The principles of Bhagavad Gita were spoken to Arjuna and for that matter to other highly elevated persons, because he was highly advanced compared to ordinary persons in other parts of the world. 2 + 2 = 4 in the mathematical principles. That is true in the beginner's arithmetic class and in the advanced class as well. Still, these are higher and lower mathematics. In all incarnations of the Lord, therefore, the same principles are taught, but they appear to be higher and lower in varied circumstances. The higher principles of religion begin with the acceptance of the 4 orders and 4 stages of social life, as will be explained later. The whole purpose of the mission of incarnations is to arouse Krishna consciousness everywhere. Such consciousness is manifest and non-manifest only under different circumstances. Om Gantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Melitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pastatya Deshitarine. So this is the principle in this material world, that it's actually meant for turning everybody towards God consciousness and ultimately to achieve the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so therefore the principle is that everything we do in this material world should be centered around that. And so particularly for somebody who's practicing the process of devotional service, we should apply that principle to ourselves first and then apply it to this process of giving it to others. In this way we become Krishna conscious and others become Krishna conscious. So sometimes we get stuck into rituals, and these rituals are actually are not the end. They are just a framework for practicing devotional life ultimately. And I remember once one devotee was asking me, he got deities at home, and we were at their home actually, and they were, I don't know, I forgot what deities they were, but they got into a whole thing, you know, about growing flowers in the garden, so that, you know, everything were pocky. You grow your own flowers, you offer them to the deity, and then, you know, everything has to be home. It has to be, this is a devotion. And the only trouble is there are the slugs, and slugs like, you know, to eat leaves and plants, and, you know, they're very difficult to get rid of. And he said he's having a difficulty getting rid of these slugs. And he asked me, you know, a solution. But I'm not a gardener, you know. So I just said, why don't you go and buy the flowers, you know? That solves the whole problem. So this is the principle that, you know, we get caught up in the ritual instead of the actual essence. And the essence of devotional life is to, you know, become Krishna conscious. And Prabhupada said that somehow or other we have to become Krishna conscious. So that means that we can practice the process of spiritual life, and if we're not careful, if we get too much caught up in the rituals, it'll be like an anchor holding us back to actually go further. And this is especially true in this movement. You know, Srila Prabhupada, he was very heavily criticized for applying this principle that's spoken in this particular verse of giving Krishna consciousness according to time, place and circumstance. And he did many things which were considered, actually to his godbrothers or anybody practicing this process in India, as outrageous. But he did it because he realized that if I don't do it, then nobody's going to make any benefit. It's not going to be beneficial to anybody. And so as a temple, that's also a principle. What is beneficial for spreading Krishna consciousness? How do we arrange a temple so that all classes of people feel welcome? All classes of people feel, you know, comfortable. You know, I think I mentioned it last time. I did mention it last time, actually, but I'll mention it again. In Los Angeles, they opened a huge temple there. And Prabhupada said, don't change anything, leave it as it is. And then people will come to the church, they'll leave the shoes on, they'll sit at the pews, we'll leave the you know, where the vicar stands, and we'll just talk about Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So that was it. That's the principle. The principle is not the details. We shouldn't be caught up in the details. We should be caught up in the principle. And if you remember this, that the principle is that whoever comes to the temple, whoever we meet, what will help that person to become Krishna conscious? What does he need? What do I think I should tell him? Because that won't work. And so Lord Ramachandra appeared. Maryad Purushottam. That means he came to teach the principles of very strictly following the rules and regulations of his particular ashram, of his particular varna also. He was a king, he was a Kshatriya, and he was also in married life. And so this is why he's actually attractive to many people, because it sort of condones married life. And but he gave some, you know, important lessons in his appearance, to show that, you know, married life also is actually has parameters, rules and regulations if it's going to be successful. And so, you know, Prabhupada said many people want the kingdom of Ram, but they don't want the rules and regulations that he gave. And so it's not possible. So that was in a previous age. That was over 2 million years ago in the Treta Yuga. And so people, we read Ramayana and people were so pious. And so he could preach that at that particular time. Lord Krishna came 500 years ago. 5,000 years ago. And, he taught the highest principle is to surrender to him. And he went through the whole Bhagavad Gita explaining why, but not many people actually did that. And especially in this age, people cannot really understand Bhagavad Gita so easily. And so Advaita Acharya, he actually understood the situation. And he prayed for the Supreme Lord to appear in a form which would make Krishna consciousness available to the people of this age. Yeah? And that was, who was that? Lord Chaitanya. And so Lord Chaitanya, he taught the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. But still, it's RamaNavami, and we can still understand how to, preach and how to act in life according to Lord Ram's instructions. Ramadi Murtishu. Ramadi means Ram and Adi, all the other incarnations. So Ramadi Murtishu Kalani Amena Chistam Nanavatar Makarad Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samavavat Para Ampumanyo Govinda Madipurusham Tamaham Jami. And so this is one of the Puranas. Ramayana is one of the Puranas. That means histories. And so they specifically made for this age. When Vyasadeva, he compiled the Veda, then he split it into 4, and then he actually subdivided that. He put an Acharya in front of each, in charge of each of the 4 Vedas, and then they were actually expanded upon, and also there were ancillaries added to it, because ancillaries are also considered part of the Vedas. And one of those ancillaries was the Puranas. Veda is Shruti. That means it's heard and it's accepted as an authority, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead speaking. An example of the Shrutis is the Upanishads. When we're arguing on Shastra, we always, if we're wise, we'll ultimately refer to the word of the Supreme Personality of God, the Upanishads. And there are 9 Upanishads which are very, very prominent. And Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad we very much read. So yeah, then the Smriti is the histories or the Puranas, and they're actually written by devotees or great sages, ultimately devotees, and they are more applicable to our age. Ramayana, was it written by Valmiki, and then more recently Krishnadharma. No, he wrote it in a way that, when everybody reads Krishnadharma's Ramayana, it's quick compared to the long one, but it's very relevant to devotional service. We can read the Valmiki version, and we still might not understand what devotional service is if we're not careful. It's got so many stories in there and so many different levels of piety and this, that, and the other. So this is our service to Lord Ramachandra, to Lord Krishna, is to hear very nicely about them, and then we have to present that in such a way that others who may be not so conversant with this process, that they can understand it. And that's our challenge. It's easy to keep mechanically doing the same thing. You can do it perfectly, you know. We can do the same thing. We can do it perfectly, but it may not attract others. That's all. So this is a devotee. A devotee has to be thinking like that. Prabhupada used to be racking his brains out to spread Krishna consciousness. When he first, he didn't find it easy. When he went to America, he went into Boston, the first city. He landed the harbour there. He went into the city, Boston, and then he came back and he wrote the poem Bhagavat Maki and Dham, and he was more or less very disappointed. And he was saying to Krishna, I don't know why you've brought me. It seems like it's going to be too difficult to actually give Krishna consciousness. But he relied on Krishna. The process of devotional service is not our conditioning or our particular social situation or anything else. It's actually the process is to become dependent on Krishna. And if we actually properly learn the art of depending on Krishna, we can do anything. And so that's our challenge, to do what seems very, very difficult and make it a fact. And Prabhupada took a long time to do that. So we can follow in his footsteps, that if we want to advance in devotional service, take up the gauntlet, Just go that extra mile, do that extra. It shouldn't become a ritual. And so Lord Ramachandra seems to be teaching a ritual house, home life, grihastha life. But if you read the story, is far from a ritual. It's far from a ritual. From the word go, it was really turbulent. And actually, that family life can be like that also. It's not, it's a challenge. So there in Bhagavad Gita, it's got the qualities of a Kshatriya in the 18th chapter. Shaurya Tejo Driti Dakshyam. I can't remember, I haven't learned that verse. Anyway, it's talking about, let me get the Bhagavad Gita. Let me just read it out. Who's reading Bhagavad Gita, by the way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And probably a third. Who goes to India to bathe in the Ganges? When you go to India, you go and bathe in the Ganges. Nobody. I expected everybody to put their hand up. Yeah, that's... What's that? Okay. It's a bit easier to read this. Right, Soryam Tejo Driti Dakshyam Yude Chapyapalayanam Dhanam Ishvarabhavascha Shatram Kama Sabhavajam. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas. So I thought we'd just, go to each one of these points, one of these qualities, and see how, Lord Ramachandra imbibed them. And we are not Kshatriyas. Maybe some of you, I don't know. But, preaching is a Kshatriya spirit. It means, you've really got to be brave. And so we can see, which of these qualities or maybe all of them, do I need to actually imbibe, and how can I imbibe them so that, I can actually present Krishna consciousness to other people, both to myself first and to other people, and make it relevant. So what's the first one? Soriam. Actually, we'll not use the first one because we might not get around to the last one, the one I want to speak about. What's the first quality of a leader? Ever think about it? Eh? Very close. It is compassion, but it's a little bit, yeah. Righteous. Yeah, in other words, he should walk his talk. Yeah, that's a good one. Any more? Yeah. Eh? What? Oh, visionary. Yeah, this is cooperative thinking, right? Cooperation thinking. Any more? Servant. Ideal servant. Yeah, these are all good explanations. Equanimity. Yeah, this is more a Brahminical qualification. Sometimes Shastris are not so equanimity, they're not. They can get a little bit fired up. Set example. Anyway, it's here. There's two together actually. Generosity and leadership. So if you put them two together, and the first thing that a leader does is there to guide and protect his subjects, or protect his, whoever he's actually looking after. Is that right? What's he trying to? What's he a leader for? To make money? I mean, in the cooperative world, that's the case. But we're talking about, something else. We're talking about self-realization. Even the king in England, they call him, or the queen, they call him. I can't remember the Latin, but it's defender of the faith. He's defending religion. And what does it say in Bhagavad Gita? The third chapter talks about lust. It's the all-devouring sinful enemy of this world. It degrades us. Then straight away, he starts the fourth chapter with transcendental knowledge. And what's it talk about? How to protect them from lust. So it starts talking about the Kshatriya dynasty, coming from Vivasvan, the sun. And so, this is in line with Bhagavad Gita. The first thing is to protect. And Kshatriya, Shat means to cut. He'll use violence when necessary in order to protect the process of religion. And in this way, when he protects the process of religion, he protects his subjects from lust and ensures that they follow that process. So, what examples have we got from Ramayana of Lord Ramachandra exhibiting this compassion? Or not compassion, but care for his subjects. Or you can break it down into generosity and leadership if you want. I mean, I can remember one that there was one situation where Lord Ram, when he went back to Ayodhya, he was ruling the people, and at one point he left Ayodhya to go on a visit to another kingdom, and he was away for I think it was 2 weeks, and then when he came back, Lakshman told him, he says, "There's one Brahmin here." He says he used to come and see you every morning and pay his obeisances, and then he used to go and take something to eat. And he says, because you've been out of the kingdom, he's been fasting for 2 weeks. So that shows that, you know, when you have a good leader, then the people or the subjects or the followers will actually do anything for that person. And that's the, you know, we're all actually leaders to some degree. If we want to attract people to Krishna consciousness, we have to be a good leader. And what happened is that when Lord Ram understood this, there were some deities which were handed from the sun god to Ikshvaku. He's the sort of the beginning of the Raghu dynasty in which Lord Ramachandra appeared. And these deities were passed down from each king all the way down to Lord Ramachandra and worshipped by the dynasty. And Lord Ramachandra was so happy with this Brahman's worship, that his attitude towards serving Lord Ram, that he gave this Brahman the deities. And it says those deities are still existing in South India in one particular temple. Does anybody know which one it is? Somebody from South India. Eh? Udupi. That's Madhavacharya, isn't it? Oh, I went there actually.
May not be the temple. Some.
Okay. Okay, so any other examples of either of Lord Ramachandra's care or the results of his care? You have to speak up, Mataji.
One day, a Brahmana comes to the palace of Lord Rama, and alongside he brings his dead son with him.
He brings what?
Dead son. His son has died. Yeah. And he says, how can this happen? Because in your kingdom, everything, when it happens rightly, then everything should be right. And my son should not die before me. And then Lord Rama says, we need to find out. There is something's not going right in the kingdom. And then they find that there is a Shudra who is trying to do immense austerities. I've forgotten his name, but they go and find him, and it turns out that he's doing all these austerities because he wants the kingdom of Indra, and not only that, he also wants his wife Sachi later on to enjoy with her. So then Lord Rama says,
is it a long one, this? How long will it be?
No, it's going to finish now.
Right.
And then he kills this Shudra because he's going out of the way, doing the wrong austerities for the wrong reasons. And then the Brahmana's son comes around and he's brought back to life. And so I thought I'll just share that episode of righteous dharma to be practiced in the sort of kingdom. Yeah, that's where it finishes.
Yeah, so, you know, a leader takes responsibility. You know, even if somebody died, it happened with Arjuna as well, didn't it? One Brahmin, I was asking Arjuna, why is it that he went to the Yudhishthira, I think it was, saying, why are my sons dying before me? Why did he die before me? Every child they had, they died. And he said, you're doing something wrong. It was the king's fault. And so when we take up a position of leadership, it's actually a very, very responsible post. And so all devotees are actually doing that. It's our obligation. If we actually practice Krishna consciousness, then we have to set an example for others. And so it happened, a similar thing happened with, on the same point, was when Lord Ramachandra was, the Battle of Lanka was won, and he was ruling in his kingdom shortly after. And I think it was on Washam, and he was talking to another one. And, at that time, the king was so conscientious. He was so conscientious that he wanted to know what the people were thinking about him. Nowadays, they send spies out into society, or they do so many things to find out what the people are thinking, so they make sure that nobody's going to overthrow him, you know what I mean? But he was thinking, how can I understand what the people are really thinking? And one of his spies, he had this washerman speaking to another person. He said, I'm not like Lord Ramachandra. If my wife goes out of home, I'm not having a bite. But he does, Lord Ramachandra. In other words, Sita was kidnapped by Ravan, and then they accepted the bite. And I say, Lord Ramachandra, it was already proven, he'd already dealt with this once, hadn't he? When Sita came back, he rejected her, and then he was advised that she should go through go through the fire, and if she survived going through the fire, then she was considered pure, and she did that. But then again it happened, and so he actually rejected Sita. He was he felt so dutiful to make sure that he set an example for his subjects. Of course, we are not like Lord Ramachandra. When the Lord sets an example, he always sets an extreme example, just so that, it really sticks. It's not something unusual. It's not something usual, I should say. Any more? When Lord Ramachandra went to the forest, the result of his caring for the citizen was that everybody, they followed him to the forest. the whole of Ayodhya, they were following him into the forest to actually. They were prepared to also spend 14 years in the forest, and like that. Anything else on?
Lord Ramachandra performing the final rites
for
Jatayu.
Oh, Jatayu, yeah, he personally performed the last rites for Jatayu because he was so brave. Even though he was an old bird, and he didn't really stand much of a chance against Ravan, he still actually he gave Ravan a good fight, didn't he? And Lord Ramachandra really appreciated that. Just the qualities of a leader are given in the Bhagavatam by other leaders also, like Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj, his first consideration when he took up the post was to, clear all the land so that there was agriculture. And then he realized that, the land wasn't producing grains. And so he actually chastised Mother Earth, Bhumi, for this. And he was prepared to kill Mother Bhumi until she actually surrendered to him, just for the benefit of the citizens, to actually keep the citizens fed. But nowadays, the revolutions which took place against the kingdoms, not different kingdoms, in France anyway, was that, the king, or the king and queen of France, or the gentry as well, some of the people came to them and said the people are actually hungry. They don't have enough bread. And a sarcastic mark was given back, wasn't it? Well, let them eat so-and-so's. And so this is why the revolution took place in France. So this is the way things are actually degenerating, is that we have, a saintly king under the guidance of the Brahmins is the perfect management. the next management is what? The kings become independent from the Brahmins. They don't take their instructions, and so they become overthrown. Then the next one is what? Capitalism. The Vaishyas, those who make the money, those who are running the world at the moment, they take over. And things get worse. And next, who's coming next? Yes, who's coming next? Oh, yep. The communists. That's the Shudra rulership. And so, you know, each time we go a peg down, they're less able to rule. And therefore things are becoming more and more difficult. So yeah, you know, we don't need to actually have, you know, democracy and all these things. If the process of Krishna consciousness is propagated, and we start to people in positions of authority educated according to the principles of Krishna consciousness, then society will change. And Prabhupada said, you know that if we, how we know this movement is successful is as if the High Court judge is wearing tilak. So that's quite a profound statement, because the High Court judge is above the king, isn't he? The law is above the actual leader. If President Nixon, they found out he was actually doing something wrong, and the court of America, they actually dethroned him. Another example from the Shastras of looking after the citizens. Maharaj Shibi, he was so pious that he was tested by the demigods. The demigods came in disguise, came as a pigeon, and they came before the pigeon came before the king, and complained that he's being chased by an eagle. So he says, "Okay, I'll protect you from the eagle." And then the eagle came and says, "What about me?" He says, "This is food for me. You've got to protect me as well." And so Maharaj Shibi thought, it's okay. He says, "Whatever meat this pigeon would provide, I'll provide that same meat from my own body." And the eagle agreed to that. And so, it's unbelievable, isn't it? But this is actually duty. And this is the reason Lord Ramachandra appeared to. Because if we're dutiful, then we can develop devotion. From duty comes devotion. We dutifully practice the process of devotional service. This is a mode of goodness. This means we do. What's the process? What's the first stage in pure devotional service? Mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. It's actually the first stage and the last stage in one respect. It says in 264 that, I'll read it to you, shall I? It's really good. You'll like this. (264). Have we got Brit on there? 264. Yeah, you got it. Is it big enough? Oh. Raga dveshe vimukta stu vishayan indriyascharan atma vishya vidayatma vashara madhigachati. But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses through the regulated principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. And then Prabhupada explains in the verse. Here we are. The Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. All right, settle down. The Krishna conscious person is concerned only with the satisfaction of Krishna and nothing else. Therefore, he is transcendental to all attachment and detachment. If Krishna wants the devotee, he can do anything which is ordinarily undesirable. And if Krishna does not want, he shall not do that which he would have ordinarily done for his own satisfaction. Therefore, to act or not to act is within his control, because he acts only under the direction of Krishna. This consciousness is a causeless mercy of the Lord, which the devotee can achieve in spite of being attached to the sensual platform. So, this is duty. We do what we should do, and we avoid what we don't do, what we shouldn't do. And then Krishna bestows his mercy, and then we become actually detached. We become free from all attachment to this world. And so this is what Lord Ramachandra is speaking in Ramayana. Whatever particular ashram we're in, especially the Grihastha ashram, is then, let's try and, Prabhupada wanted his Grihasthas to be preachers also. And the example of that is that, when the movement that started in England started with 3 Grihastha couples. Not brahmacharis, not sannyasis, 3 Grihastha couples. And one of them had I think it was just a few months old, a child. She was still being carried. And when they came to the United Kingdom, they didn't have anywhere to go. They had nowhere to stay. They just got some leads. And at one point, they lived in a garage. Can you imagine living in a garage? Three couples living in a garage and a child. It's unbelievable. And so, we should understand that Grihastha life is meant for austerity. It's meant for preaching as much as possible. First, preach to our family. Preach to ourselves, preach to our family, and then if we have any spare time, we can actually preach to us. How are we going to preach to others? What's the answer? How can Grihasthas preach? Go on. No, that's okay. That's general. But specifically for Grihasthas, yeah, we use our home for preaching. We have namhatas. Yeah. If we actually start namhatas up, this movement will explode. In fact, if you know Thakur, he actually set the example. Within a very short time, he got a large part of Bengal all following the Bhakti Vriksha program, more or less. He more or less started that. So, okay, it's getting a bit tight. It's 8 o'clock. So, what shall we do?
If you have some more points, please carry on. Okay, 5 minutes, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, last 5 minutes, we can have some inquiries about how we can make our home into a preaching centre. How's that? Just one at a time,
By your behavior?
Not all at once.
By your behavior?
Yeah. What we do you know what we should do? Do you know what I think? We have a program where we, book table, and we preach from the book table. We have a book table. People come over, and then, we take names. Some people take books. They can go up. We can have a QR code where, they can actually, and we can post things. Everybody can do that themselves and have their own little, preaching centre. And then, we make friends. We post things every so often, and then we ask people if they want any more information, if it's only a one-way thing. If we're just preaching on that WhatsApp group, then we can ask if anybody wants to know any further information, then you can contact here like that. We get contacts, and we make devotees, even in our own home. And then we have to think when they come, what does he need? It's like, no, do we want to give him? We want to give him Krishna consciousness. But it may be that, we have to give him what he wants before he'll take Krishna consciousness, or gradually take Krishna consciousness. Anyway, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I think everybody gets the message. Like, if somebody comes who's got a Western body, for instance, you don't put so much chili in the prasadam, you know what I mean? He goes away. It's not good. Yeah. So this is a beginning. So we'll stop there anyway. So we'll let Yantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gauda Premanandi.
His Holiness Dhananda Swami Maharaj ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Bolo Shri Ramchandra Appearance Day ki. Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki. Nithai Gaura Premanandi. So Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Mataji, please can you wait for 1 minute? Let me make the announcements and they can come. Yeah, because I'm making some important announcements. I want you to hear attentively. Okay. So firstly, appreciate everyone for being with us today to celebrate this wonderful festival of the appearance of Supreme Lord Ramchandra. We sincerely pray at the feet of Ramchandra, Sri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, to bless you and your families with loving devotional service. Couple of very quick announcements. So it is by ISKCON law, children 15 and under must be guided, taken care by the parents or a designated adult. So if you have children aged 15 or under, it's your responsibility as a parent. We humbly request, please look after your own children. We don't screen people coming into this temple. This is a public worship. So by law, ISKCON law, it's the responsibility of the parents. The Easy Donate payment machine had several issues, I think, but today myself and our Shankar Prabhu had managed to fix, and it is now accepting the payments if anybody is generous on this wonderful day. Is anybody generous to make some wonderful donation? So the Easy Donate is ready. And we have very exciting news. We got the Ratha Yatra date confirmed for ISKCON Manchester. Bolo Jagannath Swami ki. Jai. So it is Sunday, 16th June. The date has been confirmed for Sunday. There is some additional wonderful news. We have one more Ratha Yatra in August. This is in June. On 16th, we are having our own Ratha Yatra. But in addition to 16th June, on Sunday, 11th August, there is a Gita festival, a carnival type of festival where a number of organizations are participating. We're expecting over 2,000 people to participate. So we will also, as ISKCON representing as one of the organizations there, and we will have Kirtan, Prasadam distribution, something like that, and book distribution. We can put a book table, prasadam, and kirtan. These are the three weapons that we use to attract devotees. So please make a note of it. 16th June and 11th August. Also, today's feast is sponsored by some anonymous donors. I too even don't know. One devotee just sponsored and they just want to remain anonymous. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to this family, and also what? Is the MP? Oh, welcome. Can we offer some seat to him? So, Hare Krishna. So we would like to express our greatest, deepest gratitude for the anonymous donors today. Let's thank them by chanting one Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you very much for joining us today. Stockport MP, right? I've seen you earlier in other congregation. We're very fortunate to have your association here. We pray at the feet of Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan to bless you and your families for joining us. So let's welcome them by 3 loud Haribols. Please don't run away. Haribol! 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 Hare Krishna. So now we have bhajan by children, and there will be plenty of kirtan for everyone's pleasure. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Yeah. Leave the goblet for Maharaj. Hare Krishna Prabhu, if you can please move back and we need some space here. You can ask Maharaj. Please move back. Prabhuji, Mataji. We need some space here. Move back. Stand. Where is that? Where is another mic? Krishna, can we ask the devotees to no, Prabhu, this is not. No, here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna. आदो रामतपोवनादिगमनम् हत्वा मृगं काञ्चनम् वैदेही हरणं जटायुमरणं सुग्रीवसम्भाषणं वालीनिग्रहणं समुद्रतरणं लङ्कापुरीदाहनम् पश्चात् रावणकुम्भकर्णहननम् एतदि रामायणम्. This is एक shloki Ramayanam, which tells the story of Ramayanam in one shlok. Here's the translation. Once when Lord Rama went to a forest, he killed the golden deer. Sita Mata was kidnapped. Jatayu was killed by Ravan. Then Lord Ram met Sugriva and Vali was slain. Thereafter, they crossed the ocean. Lord Ram liberated Ravana and Kumbhakarna. Thus goes the Ramayana. Now we are going to be singing the whole shlok twice. Ado Ramatapavanadigamanam Hatvanigam Kanchanam Vedehi Haranam Jatayumaranam Sugriva Sambhashanam Valinigrahanam Samudrataranam Lankapuridahanam Paschad Ravanakumbhakarnahananam Etaddi Ramayanam Ado Ramatapavanadigamanam Hatva mrigam kanchanam Vedehi haranam Jatayumaranam Sugriva Sambhashanam Valinigrahanam Samudrataranam Lankapuridahanam Paschad Ravanakumbhakarnahananam Etaddi Ramayanam. Jai Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram!
Hare Krishna. Thank you, children. You may please take your seat now. I must applaud them. I just taught the shlok them once, and the next day they were ready. They had memorized it and they were ready with the shlok. And the little ones who are with the papers, I applaud them as well because they were on a holiday. And you've done really well, Tisha. I'm really proud of you. Big Haribol for Tisha. Haribol. They were on holiday and, she has just picked it up. I really appreciate and applaud the spirit, Only children can do that. I cannot. Tisha, I have to learn from you. You shouldn't be upset about it. You've done really well. Okay? So now we have our younger girls who are going to sing with us a bhajan on this auspicious occasion. They are going to sing Sri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana. Just for the benefit of everybody sitting here, I'll just read the translation and then I'll keep myself away from the girls on the stage. So, O mind, pray to compassionate Lord Ramachandra who destroys the great fears of life. With eyes like a new lotus, face like a lotus, and feet like a crimson lotus. With boundless splendor, like innumerable cupids, he is as beautiful as a new blue cloud. I bow to the groom of Janaka's daughter, who is like lustrous white lightning in his yellow garments. I bow to the sun-like friend of the wretched, destroyer of the demon dynasties, a son of Dasharath, who is beautiful with a crown on his head, earrings, and mark on his forehead and limbs. He is generously decorated, with long hands to his knees, holding a bow and arrow. He is the winner of the battle with Kar and Dushan. Thus says Tulsidas, he who pleases the minds of Shankar and Adishesh, who has contempt for the wicked things that desire, please dwell in the lotus of my heart. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Girls, please come over.
Oh, yeah.
Depends on which way they are thinking. There are 2, 3 ways.
Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhayadarunam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhayadarunam. Navakanjalochana Kanja Mukhakara Kanja Pada Kanjarunam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhayadarunam. Kandarpa Ganita Amita Chavi Navanila Niraja Sundaram Patapita Manahu Tarita Ruchi Shuchi Naumi Janaka Sutavaram. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhayadarunam. Bhajadina Bandhu Dinesha Danav Daitya Vanshani Kandanam Raghunanda Ananda Kanda Kaushala Chandra Dasharathanandanam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhayadarunam. Shiramukuta Kundala Tilaka Charudara Anga Vibhushanam Ajanubhuja Shachapathara Sangrama Chitta Khara Dushanam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhayadarunam. Iti vadati Tulsidas Shankara Shesha Munivara Ranjanam Mama Hridaya Kanjanivasa Kuru Kamadi Kaladala Ranjanam. Shri Ramachandra Kripalu Bhajamana Harana Bhava Bhayadarunam. Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram.
Thank you very much, girls. Hari Bol. A big Hari Bol for them. They have practiced by themselves with just one practice session, and then they have carried it on by themselves. So, big loud Hari Bol to all of them. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
So we request everyone to stand up. Now we'll be offering
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नमिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पश्चात देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna no dance today how best Ragupati राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा अब राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम राघव राजा पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा पतित पावन सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू सीताराम सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे तू सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू सीताराम सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे तू सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे तू रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे सीताराम सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन 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 सीताराम सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे सीताराम 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 भज प्यारे सीताराम 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 रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन 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 सीताराम अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम 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 अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम अयोध्यावासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन 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 राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम 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 सीताराम राम 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 सीताराम राम 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 सीताराम राम 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 सीताराम राम 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 अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन 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 राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम 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 सीताराम राम 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 सीताराम राम राम सीताराम राम 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 सीताराम राम राम अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम हरे कृष्ण पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता राम 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 बोलो राम सीताराम राम 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 सीताराम राम बोलो राम राम बोलो राम सीताराम राम सीताराम
राम राम अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम
अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम
अयोध्यावासी राम दशरथ नंदन राम पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम
पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन
राम पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम
पतित पावन जानकी जीवन सीता मोहन राम
गोकुल नंद श्री राधे
जय राधा गोकुल नंद
गोकुल नंद राधा गोकुल नंद श्री राधे गोकुल नंद राधा गोकुल नंद श्री राधे गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय 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 लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय 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 सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय जय गुरुदेव हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल
संकीर्तन की जय। श्री श्री राम नवमी महामहोत्सव की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्री डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्री डिवाइन ग्रेस शील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की। नामाचार्य शील हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। व्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की। अयोध्या धाम की। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुर धाम की। गंगा माई की। यमुना माई की। तुलसी देवी की। भक्ति देवी की। कलयुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। बोलो श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की। बोलो श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, so in the next few minutes we will be serving prasadam next door. We are requesting children under 12, they can go first and take prasadam, and those who are elderly and those who are with special needs also can go and take prasadam. So please allow them to take prasadam first before you take it. Thank you so much. Now we will sing the prasadam prayer. महाप्रसादे गोविंदे नमो ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे स्वल्प पुण्यावतम राजन विश्वासो नव जायते शरीरार विद्याज जीवेन्द्रिया ताहे काल जीवे फैले विशेष सागरे तारे मध्य जीवायती लोभो सुदुर्मति काकजिता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बड़ा दया माय थोड़ी बारे जीवा जाए स्वप्रसादन दिलो भाई अमृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेम दाखो श्री चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare बोले कृष्ण प्रसादम की जय ताय गौर प्रेमानंदे श्री राधे श्याम
जय श्री राधे श्याम
सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय
जोर से बोलो जोर से
बोलो सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय जय श्री राम
जोर से बोलो आराम से
जय श्री राम
जोर से
बोल बांके बिहारी लाल की